everyone, I hope you're all well. So we've got some questions. I'm gonna answer some of your questions. So starting right at the beginning, how old was I when I started dancing? I was 2 when I went to my first dance class, and then I was 3 when we got to do our very first show. So I've been dancing ever since. Where did you train? I trained at Merseyside Dance and Drama Centre, trained professionally at Merseyside Dance and Drama Centre in Liverpool for 3 years in all styles of dance, and also got my dance teaching qualifications there as well. Yeah, what was my favourite thing about dance training and what was the hardest thing? I think my favourite thing is definitely all the different dance styles that we got to do that I'd never done before. When I went there, we did flamenco dance, we did Irish, all different styles, and we used to have teachers in quite often, so we'd get to do a lot of styles. I think that was my favourite thing about it. The hardest thing, the tiredness. I was so tired all the time. I used to travel all the way, I was in 4 days a week. I used to travel every day to Liverpool and back again, and when you start at sort of 8:30 with your first class and you don't finish sometimes until 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then you have the drive back and forth, it's very tiring. So I definitely think the tiredness, and then obviously you're putting your body through a lot all day every day dancing, so definitely the tiredness. Okay, what is your favourite song to sing and why? I think there's a song called What I Did for Love from a chorus line, and it's one of my very first audition songs. I think I even auditioned to get into college with it, and it just has like nice memories of all that, and I always get quite a nice, whenever I auditioned with it, I got quite a nice reception. People used to like my song choice, so yeah. What is the hardest, most challenging song you've ever sung? I think this will definitely depend. If everyone answers this one, it'll depend so much on the person, because obviously a song that I might find hard, someone else will find pretty easy. So everyone's got a different kind of voice, so everyone's going to find something. Ooh, that was my cat. Find different things difficult, but the hardest song that I sing regularly, I think, is got to be a song from the musical Funny Girl called My Mam, Barbra Streisand song, and it's a difficult one to get right because you've got to put emotion into it, but it's quite a big sing, so you've got to get like it right, enough emotion and enough control in your technique. What is your favourite dance style? And what is your favourite style to choreograph? So my favourite dance style, I think, is tap, which is just like making a lot of noise. But my favourite style to choreograph, I think, is jazz, because you can add in so many other different styles into jazz to make it so different. I think it's a really versatile style, and I like the technique of jazz as well. I like teaching jazz and jazz technique and really like getting stuck into the technique. Have you ever had a disaster on stage? I've had a lot of disasters. One is when it wasn't a live show, but it was a rehearsal for a live show where our bosses were on to watch, and I fell down the back of a 6-foot drop because they didn't have, it used to have so this is a platform 6 foot high in the air, and it used to have a backdrop, but because it was just a rehearsal, the backdrop wasn't there. This platform was quite narrow, and I had to chaîné turn down it, and I didn't turn in a straight line, and the ship moved at the same time, and off I went down the 6-foot drop in between a curtain and the back of the set, and nobody came to get me for about 5 minutes, and I couldn't get out myself because it was in between a load of things. So yeah, they just left me until someone was free to come and get me. Bit of a disaster. I've had lots of other disasters though, too many to mention. Okay, what's your best memory of being on stage? I think the best memory, I've got lots of good memories because I'm very lucky that I've got to work with lots of my friends. And I think the best memory was when we did an outside concert down south in England somewhere, this big festival, and they told us there was a lot of people, but I didn't realise how many people. And we stepped out on this huge stage, and you couldn't see the back of the crowd of people. And then I think afterwards they told us there was about 15,000 people at this festival. And yeah, it was just really, really cool. I just thought, like, whoa, that's a lot of people. Yeah. What else is there? What is the best place you've ever travelled to for your job? I'm really lucky because I've travelled a lot for my job. I used to work on cruise ships. So I think the best, I've got a couple of good places. So Singapore is brilliant. It's such a cool city. But for a different reason, so is Rio de Janeiro, and yeah, I like that. And then most magical place I've ever been is Bora Bora. That's just off the chart. That's amazing. They're definitely very cool places that I've been. Well, I've lost the page. Done that one, done that. What is your favourite acro move? Got two. One that I like doing and one that I like seeing other people achieve. So the one that I love seeing other people achieve is their walkovers, because it's something that like takes a little while, and it requires lots of different skills before you can do that skill. And I really love seeing people who start with us who don't have any acro skills, and then when they get to the point of them doing their forward walkover or their back walkover, like, I love seeing their face when they finally get their first walkover and they achieve that. That's a really cool one. And then I love doing jump up onto shoulders and forward semi off your shoulders. I'm always the base because I'm too big. But yeah, I love doing that one. It makes me feel really like strong. So I love doing that. Okay, some more questions. How long have you been doing your job? So I graduated from dance college in 2009, and I got my first job straight away, luckily, very luckily. So that performing professionally, that's how long I did that for. And then my last professional job was 2018. But before I completed my training, I'd already started teaching for other dance schools. And then luckily, in between all my contracts, because your contracts are only sort of 6 months or 9 months or however long, I was very lucky that I could carry on doing my teaching and people had me back. But then I opened Forza, my own school, in 2016 with just, how many of them did I have? 8 people in the first week. And then lots of you will know that we bought the new studios in 2019, April 2019. So I've owned the studios for a year. I've had my own school for 4 years. But yeah, I graduated in 2009, so a little while. Oh, the cat is back. Thank you, lovely. Get your tail out of there we go. What is the best thing about your job? Best thing. So very lucky that my job is my hobby as well, so I don't really have many bad days during my job. But it used to be the fact that I could do what I love was performing every single day, whether we were actually performing to audience every single day or we were dancing every day. So I just love dancing every day. Makes me happy. I love singing every day. Everybody should do it. But now I love seeing other people that I teach achieve something that I've helped them with. So however small or big it might be, I get really proud of seeing someone achieve something. So it could be just like one dance move that they've been doing for ages and they really wanted to get that move perfect, and then they get it, and they're like, their joy of that's ace. But then also feeling proud of like their bigger achievements. So because I've taught for other people for a long time, I've got students that are now performing themselves, and yeah, that's so nice that however small my little contribution was, they've then done that for a career, so they must have enjoyed something that I did. So that's a really lovely thing about my job. And then finally, what would you do for a job if you didn't do this job? Either I would do something to do with dancers, so either sort of like a physio, or something to do with just dancers' health, and I don't know. Or I would have an animal sanctuary. I'd have a million cats and dogs and other animals, and just have animals, like play with animals all day. I love animals. I'd have lots of you, wouldn't I, Grub? That's what I definitely do. An animal sanctuary.